Hello, everybody. It's finally time. Houston Dynamo versus Austin FC is about to kick off. I will be your host today. Chris is at the Dash game. He's enjoying his time over there. So I'm going to be probably solo hosting this one. I'm going to let everybody trickle in here. We have about 10 minutes till kickoff between Austin FC and Houston Dynamo. I finally put up a timer so we can all sync and watch the game the same time around when stuff happens. Exciting stuff. Awesome. See, people are already starting to trickle in. It is 7:31. Once the game kicks off, I'll start up the timer, and then I guess we can all kind of trickle and watch this game. See 6 people in here already. Good to see y'all. If you're here and you're like on Twitter or on YouTube, you're watching, type something in the chat. Let us know how you're feeling, and we'll read it out. See, Rushan's already here. Let's show the chat. There we go. Good deal. Apparently, the stadium is pretty empty right now for Austin. I wouldn't say I'm surprised. They have been pretty putrid this season. Who are you waiting on? One. Oh, that's funny, Rushan. I think I'll be running this one by myself. We'll see if someone else joins in, but pretty much everybody else is at the game or at the Dash game or watching it comfort free from home. So I'm stepping up here. I see 10 people are in here. Once we get to like 20 or 30, I'll read out the the lineups. Super Juan brother, I believe he's here somewhere. You know what? He might have to make an appearance in this stream to add some variety. Time is 7:32. 8 more minutes until kickoff. People are trickling in. Love to see it. I guess since we have a few people in here already, we can. I guess I can read the lineups for your Houston Dynamo. Let's get it up here. I remember seeing it, and I was pretty happy with how it's lined up. Here it is. Okay. I do have my gear on. I have the Bayou City cap. Love it. It's a great piece of merchandise. And I think I wear it to every single live stream, so love it. Okay, so I guess let's look over this lineup right now for the Houston Dynamo. I had it open on FOTMob, and then I closed it again. But Vines is starting. That is, for me, the biggest thing looking into this game. You have Vines starting at left back, Resh and Sviatchenko as the center backs. I'm starting also. They're playing on left or right. I think the right is what makes sense. And Nali starting as well. Artur and Herrera are the double pivot in the midfield. Guilherme starting with Bogusz and Ponce, who I guess is starting because Linger isn't available. But they are your starters. Bond in the back. I like the lineup. And big news, Jack is back. He's on the bench. I would expect him to make an appearance. If he wasn't ready, then why put him on the bench? So we'll see if Houston need his clinicality today. But overall, I mean, this might be the best look Houston has to offer right now. Obviously, actually, Carl's on the bench. I don't know if I would have preferred him over Resh, but I do like that Houston is trying out different things, to be completely honest. Markanich should be starting over Ponce. I mean, I've talked about this before. I don't think Markanich is really a striker in the way Ben sees it. Like he lists them there as an option, but in all seriousness, I think Markanich can play more on the right wing. So I don't know. I think his style fits the right wing for the team better than it does the other teams. So right now, Houston Dynamo walking onto the field. I see people are starting to file in here. Love to see it. It'll be interesting how Austin managed this. Obviously, Stuver in the back, he's really decent, but they're missing a few solid players. I mean, Daniel Pereira is injured for them. He has a hamstring injury. Wolf is out with a hernia, and Vasquez with the ACL injury. That was pretty bad. so he'll be out for a while. Houston only really missing Linger because of red card suspension, and Halter, who we have no idea when he'll come back. FootMob says mid-May 2026, but don't trust FootMob with this type of stuff. I don't think anybody's feeding them the information on that. On the bench for Houston, you have Samaseku, Holmes, McGlynn, Aliu, Markanic, Negri, Buzat, Carlos, and Mara. I think this is Houston's best bench so far this season. This is a great bench. I don't think anybody in the starting lineup, if they play poorly, is safe from getting subbed out. I mean, you get every position. But this team really is missing Halter, and it sucks to see him, being out injured for, I guess, a long while, because in the preseason, he just looked absolutely amazing. And even starting out, he just gave you a great physical profile. Yeah, I agree. This team finally does have depth. And I mean that in a way where you have players that I don't think drop the level too much compared to the players that they do start. But the question is, how good is the team as a collective? I think the floor for this team is better than the floor has been for some other Houston Dynamo Ben Olsen teams. But it's there. I don't know. I think it's still very early, and we have to see. We have to see how that goes. See, we have 20 people here. Love to see it. It's going to keep on trickling up as the game's about to start. Appreciate all y'all supporting. If you're joining us, do a timer on the top left corner of your screen, which means that I won't have to commentate over everything. We can kind of, time it up, and I guess I can just react to the stuff that's happening in the game once it starts, which it helps me save the voice, and it also helps y'all. Also, we have 600 subs on YouTube. We appreciate it, the people that are watching on YouTube, but we understand that most of our audience is on Twitter, and we love y'all over there as well. I like what Rushan is saying here. Bogusz and Guilherme are not connected well yet with the rest of the team. I mean, maybe. I just think they're both players that, you bring them in, and I'd say Guilherme has just been Houston's best player, but Bogusz has been really hit or miss. I think he needs to actually take more responsibility, Bogusz, and connect with Hector and Artur. But he's a player that can definitely do it on his day. I mean, I've mentioned this before. If Bogusz is on, even if this version of Bogusz isn't the same one from his prime at LAFC, he's still a very young player. So I would expect him to surprise people. And he can definitely carry a game by himself. Same with Hector Herrera. I wouldn't, and Guilherme, you could say, but I feel like Guilherme depends a lot on the output from his defenders in the back, or the midfielders, as you want to say. Believe they got to kick off. 2 more minutes till 7:40, and the moment it kicks off, I'll set up the timer, and I guess everybody can grab their snacks, get some food, drink some water, stay hydrated, and let's see how this game goes. I predicted a draw. No, I predicted a win. I predicted a win for Houston. I just think Austin's been playing really poorly right now, and I don't think that stretch ends anytime soon, especially with the injuries they have. I think Houston can get this one pretty easily. I am sipping on some pure water. This is just water. I've actually been struggling with my water intake, so I make sure to fill this one up to the brim, because here at college, in my dorm at least, the water fountain is at the bottom of the building, which means that I have to go down every time that I need water, and every time that this doesn't have any. I have it pretty much filled, so we should be good for the entire game, but just water, nothing else. I do like Capri Suns, though, so I might have to buy some for the next game. The game hasn't started yet. I'll give it 1 more minute. Apple TV is, I think it's cutting into win probability. Let's see what the win probability says for Houston today. So it has Houston at 40% win probability, Austin at 30%, and a draw at 27.7. I would take a draw if you're Houston, get that draw. Yeah, 40% that Houston will win. We'll see if that. If I'm Houston, you take a draw in this game. You definitely take a draw or definitely a win, but you would take a draw in something like this. Okay, game's about to start. I have the time period. I'm ready. About to click it the moment that this starts. I'm going to click it, and we're off. Game time in Houston. Here we go. So it looks like Andrade is going to be on the right for Houston. On the right as well makes sense. Already a free kick for Houston. I mean, Anali got mauled right there. He received the ball. Oh, didn't even receive the ball. He just got mauled from the beginning. Andrade with the ball, passes it with Artur, who passes it back to Eric. So it's Eric and Resh together. It's really interesting that Resh is getting the start over Antonio Carlos. I felt like Antonio Carlos ended last season really well, but Resh has just been turning into a player of his own. And fair play to him. He wasn't really expecting the plans. Yeah, Resh miscalculates a pass there. Guilherme tracks in. I think Vines moved forward, but miscommunication there, I believe. 1 minute in, Austin with their first real bit of possession here, passing it behind the back line. Hey, Kenny, what's good, man? And I agree. Orange versus green would have been so much better. I feel like both teams are. No, this feels like whenever Barcelona and not Atletico and Real Madrid play with different colors that are not red and blue and white. This just looks off. It isn't fitting for a derby. I will give you that. Ponce is in the starting lineup for all you haters out there. I believe he's only starting because Linger is suspended. I really like Linger in his last appearance, especially at the striker role. It reminds me of how when Kowalczyk back in 2024 moved up to striker. But I think Linger's a little better in that. I wouldn't even call it a false nine, in that forward role. So Bogusz and Guilherme are kind of rotating on that left wing side. Out of possessions like a 4-4-2. Seems like Houston have kind of figured that out in the past few games and are kind of sticking with it. Ball to Houston. Andrade is about to throw it in. It's Vyachenko with the ball. Scanning his options. Back to Bond. Bond sends it out to Andrade, who can't keep it in. It'll be a throw in for Austin FC. Yeah, I will say there is a lot of orange in that stadium, Rushan. I will give the fans credit. There were a lot of them traveling this time around. You can see the respect of orange in the crowd as Austin FC builds back. Nice pass wide to number 7 of Austin. He's one-on-oneing Anali. Anali gets the ball and now he's in transition. Pass it to Ponce, who's really dropped further back there. That's really interesting. Oh, I do like this, Kenny. I like that you did mention this. I still can't believe Ben went out there and said the USL signing was the best finisher out of the 3 main strikers. Yeah, I mean, that's a little wild. And I know the astute among you might say that, well, your striker should be the best finisher on your team, right? But I think we've seen with Ben, he prefers shape over maybe one-off talent at one position. And whether that's right or wrong, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it sounds damning in a way because, I mean, with this team that's kind of lacking in goals a bit, why not play your best finisher? But I will also give Ben credit. He did say Linger brings kind of the best, not the best, but like a sprinkle of everything. And I agree with Ben on that. I think Linger has a ton of potential in a lot of different positions. I have no idea why Ben tried him out at wing back those first few games. That was horrible. So at least he fixed that and he put him up top. But it's funny how the best finisher out of those 3 of Linger, Ponce, and and Marcanic is on the bench and probably not featured today. Unless Ponce just craps the bed. But even then, I don't think Ben's really going to be willing to bench his DP striker. Unlike he did Sebastian Ferreira, he definitely was willing to bench Sebastian Ferreira. But not Ponce, which is something to think about. We're about to reach the 5-minute mark. 0-0 the score. And wow, they just laid out a stat right here. Austin have not won in their last 7 matches. They are 5-1-1 all time versus Houston at home. Outscoring the Dynamo 14-7. So he have not had a lot of luck in Austin. Last season, Jack Lynn got that incredible equalizer in those last few minutes of the game. Unfortunately, it was for Nottis Houston failed to qualify for the playoffs, but it was a nice moment. And it's great that McGlynn's back on the bench. I think Houston will definitely need him in the second half for chance creation. Austin with an attack on the left side. Number 29 crosses in. Austin with the ball. Not able to do anything with. So now Houston pressing up on the left side. That's true. So Ben, I guess, could be willing to bench Ponce sooner rather than later. But I don't know. I feel like you don't have Linger right now. So he doesn't have Linger, so I think he just kind of has to run it out. Bogusz has very good turning. I agree completely, Rushan. I think Bogusz has the best turn on this team. And I mentioned it, I believe, on a podcast or maybe last stream. What Houston need in transition, which they have the player, but incredible in transition. So I think once you figure it out, once you were able to connect Hector with Artur, with Hector, Artur, and Bogusz, and give those two options, Bogusz to be the option for those two players. I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. I think once you do that, this team turns from like a decent counterattacking team to one that can do a lot of damage. Offensively, sorry. And defensively, I think the 4-4-2 is a great shape for him. It's funny that Ben tried to switch around the in-possession shape, which honestly was the issue last year, and ended up tinkering with the defensive shape, which was pretty good for these past few seasons. The 4-4-2 is really solid. No reason to change it if it ain't working. Austin with the ball. 7th minute, 21st second. Austin with the ball now. Ponce has been playing a little lower in these first few minutes. It's pretty interesting. I've seen him track back a little more than usual. And man, I just love how Guilherme is given the freedom to operate wherever he was. Right now, he's kind of in the out of possession. He's kind of playing as a striker. Austin with the ball. Dangerous opportunity for them and a sliding tackle. I believe that was Andrade who cleared the ball in a very dangerous situation in the 8th minute for Austin. Keeps Houston safe, but Austin still have opportunities. Number 21 for Austin. Crosses it out wide. Crosses it in. It's cleared by Artur. Guilherme, he's able to push up now. Guilherme keeps pushing. Also, for the people that were asking, there's the Super Juan, bro. Yeah, Houston were pushing up there. Guilherme, I believe, got fouled. He's been really good at drawing fouls so far this season, Guilherme. Guilherme did not pass to Enaliu. Yeah, I mean, I not Guilherme on I like Enali and Guilherme kind of on the same side, but I didn't like that much that situation. Hello, Jeff. Hope you're doing great. People are starting to trickle in here. Houston Dynamo, 9th minute against Austin FC. Yeah, Guilherme did fool the ref there. I'm completely okay with that. I think it's about time there was somebody in Houston that could sell the calls to the referees. I mean, he is Brazilian, so you have to give him that. So yes, everybody, good evening. Just coming in with us. Houston are away against Austin FC. A lot of people, a lot of Houstonians at the game. You can see a lot of orange sprinkled into the, you would call it a guacamole crowd. I don't like guacamole. That's why I say it. A lot of people like guacamole, so I hate it too much. And it seems like Andrade hurt his head a bit. I think he's getting it taped up. That's weird. Seems like Andrade is always getting his head hurt. We have hit the 10-minute mark, though. Pretty calm 10 minutes. Yeah, Andrade did get taped up there. That's really funny. So, Guilherme, the ball. He's about to send it in. Cross into the box. Nobody's in there. Austin clears. And now Austin have an opportunity to counter. Nope. Nice job by Anali. Tracking back there and clearing the ball out. Yeah, Houston can't do much there with the free kick. I think that delivery was pretty good though. I'll give him credit. Unfortunately, nobody could get in there for him. Austin building back up from the back, passing it out wide. They're really sending a lot of balls up on this left side. And yes, for those that are watching the Dash game, they did just get scored on. So Kenny, I have not heard much about McGlynn. He is on the bench as Guilherme dribbles outside the box. McGlynn is on the bench, so I do think he's available. Why put him on the bench if he wouldn't be available? So yeah, McGlynn's back officially. He's on the bench. We'll see if they put him in, but you know, it didn't look too bad. It might have just been one of those nagging things. Like if you watch small play this, and he had a lot of injuries. Oh, you're good, Kenny. Austin send the ball up on the right side. Austin pass the ball into the middle. Pass it out to the left. They get a shot off goal. Goal for Austin FC. They have taken the lead against Houston Dynamo. Nelson, number 7. The goal to give them the nice by now. And look at that. I mean, yikes. Not great. Both Houston teams are down a goal. Not a great start right there for Houston. I'll be honest with you. That was a great finish, to be honest. That's annoying. Once it started, we like 10 men. Yeah. No. That, I mean, honestly, it's a good finish. Felt like okay, there we go. We're good now. Yeah, I just had to switch the Wi-Fi, guys. Apologies. Wi-Fi was pretty bad. But we're back. So yeah, maybe Felipe just can't see with the wrap around his head. Yeah, that was. I mean, that was a great finish. You got to give the player credit there. Yeah, Houston down 1-0 with Ponce back in the starting lineup. Not great, I'll be so honest with y'all. But yeah, I think the Wi-Fi was an issue for me. My apologies, guys. But I think the Wi-Fi is ready now. We can continue this with no issue. Bogush with the ball, pass it to Andrade. Andrade tries to cross it in, but can't get nothing going. Austin now gonna try to hit on the counter. Austin to the middle of the field, back out wide. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Jeff. I think lingering red card is the only reason why Ponce is starting. It still doesn't change the fact that maybe why not Marcanic? You know, why not him? You know, felt like he said it. He's your best finisher, and I legitimately think now if Houston is down or Ponce doesn't score yet again, I think foul, no foul on Ponce, who got clattered for a bit there. Austin now pushing forward. But yeah, I mean, Marcanic, as Rushan likes to say, maybe should have started. I don't have an opinion for and against it right now. We haven't seen enough of Marcanic, although he did impress enough for me to say maybe he should get an opportunity to test it out. Eric Vyachenko almost had trouble there. Houston able to clear it out. But yeah, I mean, Houston's out of possession shape is looking kind of whack right now. And it sucks because I like the 4-4-2, but it seems like they're giving Austin way too much space. Across into the box. Nelson receives for Austin. One-on-one with Andrade. Oof, and he beats Andrade. Andrade has to foul. Jaden Nelson is on a tear for Austin right now. Great dribble right there. So Marcanic being one of those Reds, I mean, I'll be so honest, Jeff. That red card was so incidental. Um, it was reckless. I don't think it was a temperament issue, not at all. Temperament issue, I think that would have been like legitimately tackling the guy, but he just ran right past him and into his face. So I don't know. I feel like if you punish Marcanic for instance, you do it for Eric, for Antonio Carlos, for Buzat, and Buzat's on the bench, so maybe that's why. But yeah, I don't think that's the issue because I mean, so many players have gotten red cards, and I don't think much has changed. So Houston able to clear. Nelson receives the ball again on the left side. Number 11 for Austin crosses into the box. Austin with another chance. I see. I don't think Bond catches that ball on the goal for Austin, but if he anticipated it a little better, he could have definitely gotten like a touch on it. It was on the bar, so I'd say if he got in a touch on it, I think that goes wide. But then I guess he picks up the loose ball. I mean, I like when goalkeepers dive, even if they get scored on. The fact that he didn't even dive there, I don't really like that, to be completely honest. Houston building out from the back now. 18th minute. Also, I haven't seen too much from Hector today to talk about him. There hasn't been much from Hector Artur. Nothing really. And Houston's just been in their out of possession shape a bit, which can be fine. But Dash losing at halftime, Houston losing in the 19th minute. I mean, I think Austin are very comfortable just kind of letting this moment kind of pass by. Keep the possession. And I think Houston, they're staying pretty disciplined. I'll give them credit. They aren't biting the bait. But now it's got to be, can you take your chances? Nice little pass there from Resch on the receiving. And Ali with the ball. Can he take on his man? Nelson tracks back defense. Andrade on the ball, passes it back. This is Vyachenko. Passes it around the back line. Resh with the ball right now. Resh misplaces his pass to Artur, and now Austin on the counter. Can Resh make up for his mistake? He can. Austin still with the ball in the outer part of the box. Nelson passes it out wide. Nelson with the ball again. Nelson passes it inside. Oh my goodness. Bond just got clattered. Oh my goodness. That should have been a card. Bond went up for it. Austin forward paddles him for a second, and I guess Houston are kind of lucky there. Oof. That should have been a card. I mean, Houston don't look very confident right now. And it was Christian Ramirez, I believe, that made that play on Bond, former Houston Dynamo player. Thank you, Sean, for the reminder. I knew he was starting. I just forgot his jersey number. 21st minute here. Pretty weird game for Houston. And I mean weird, not in like it's out of the ordinary. But they're not – I don't know what they're going for tactically right now. Austin get the ball back high up the pitch. It'll be a goal kick for Houston. Yeah, Nelson's been cooking Andrade. Andrade cannot contain him right now. Yeah, I would agree, man. But I would agree with Sean, but Bogusz and Nelson, I guess, pretty different players. I think Bogusz just has not been he doesn't have space right now. And I mean, look at Hector right there, kind of controlling. But I don't know. I think Bogusz hasn't really had an opportunity this game. And I think I said it before, maybe he needs to drop in a little deeper and get the ball himself and be like, I need it. I wouldn't say Houston have nothing without McGlynn, but I do think they miss him very much. I mean, his delivery, he's a chance creator by himself. You can surround him by 10 bums. And if you have a set piece with him, you have a chance. Maybe not for a goal, maybe for an opportunity. So yeah, I think Houston missed him very much. Happy to see he's back on the bench. With this game, you might say he might have an impact. So we'll see how that goes. Austin passing it around the back line again. I mean, Houston can't get any possession going right now. And it seems like this is kind of the strategy for Houston. They've kind of turned, oh my goodness, Austin have a chance. Houston able to clear it out on the fence. Austin still with the ball. I believe Bogusz was able to cut it out. But Austin still keeping it high up the pitch. Now throwing for Houston. Andrade with the ball. So this is interesting. They just put up another stat. Facundo Torres with 20 touches. And Nali has 7. I mean, how are you going to win if your playmakers don't get the ball? Houston need to find a way to give it to them. I feel like Ben wouldn't be the type of guy to park the bus early and then go offensively. Actually, when I say that actually seems like such a Ben thing to do. But I mean, you're down 1-0. If you're parking the bus and you're already get scored on, I think that's pretty weak. Something got exploited tactically. Ponce tying his shoes. pretty boring half for Houston. I mean, this has kind of been par for the course, unfortunately. My goodness. This has been pretty yucky from Houston once again. I mean, I don't care, and I don't think fans should care unless they get results. But if they aren't getting results in the plays pretty bad, then I guess torches will come out. Or toward the ball. I mean, Austin are playing a 4-4-2 as well. So, and I don't know what it is about theirs, but it looks so much better. And I mean, Houston just can't get the ball up top. Goodness, this is embarrassing. And Austin keeps having space. They're building up from the back. And Bones is the only guy really pushing up to kind of, put pressure on him. Now everybody starts pushing up. Better from Houston on the pressing wise. 25th minute, Austin passes it back to their goalie, Brad Stuver. I mean, it's just too easy right now for Austin. They're more than happy to just pass it around the back. And Austin recovered possession again. My word. I mean, I don't know. This Houston shouldn't be playing this way. Austin with the ball. Bond makes a save. That was a pretty good save. I wouldn't say it was amazing. Nice little flick there from Artur. Oof, he may got fouled, but man, good save from Bond. Fair play. I mean, it came pretty close to him, but good job to repel that away and not give it to an Austin player ready to pounce. I have no idea if he was offside or not. He might have been. Yeah, nice foul bait there from Guillermo. I think that's the second one of the day. Oh man. Okay, Houston building up. See what happens here. I mean, it's just too easy for Austin. Their pressing shape is so much better, and it's weird because they're pretty bad, like records wise. So it's pretty interesting that their out of possession shape looks more refined than Houston's. Here we go. Bought a Bogush. Bogush can't really receive. I believe it was offside anyways. Yuck. Got to enter the 29th minute. Once we get to like the 40th, I'll ask you all your thoughts on this half because there's still a little left. Austin goalkeeper with the ball again, sends it out long. Hector passes it to Artur. Nice combination play there from Houston. Okay. Artur with the ball to Guillermo. Passes it to Hector. Hector takes a shot, and it's saved by Stuver. That was the first bit of play right there from Houston that I really liked. There you go. Hey, that's better. Give Austin something to think about. Nice block there from Andrade. Now Hector with the ball again. Here we go. Get incorporated, Hector. Open up the game. This is why he was brought back in. That's what Hector does, and that's what Hector did in his first stint with Houston. Bogus with the ball. I think first time I really see him touch the ball. Okay. Yeah. Nice pass to Bogusz. Bogusz with a shot. Another save by Ben Stuver. This is better from Houston right here. The game opened up. Now Houston are starting to pile on a little bit of pressure. Much better from Houston. There you go. Austin's possession again. Well, now they got duped there. I do agree here, Kenneth. Those last two shots for Houston, pretty promising. I mean, you just kind of have to give them something to think about. They've been way too comfortable in possession. So if Houston can kind of strike a bit with the ball and create some opportunities, I think Houston walk into the end of this half feeling a little better. But it's crazy how that happened after 30 minutes of play. Showing close-ups to the Austin bench. Nelson's been on a tear there, getting instruction from the team. I mean, I just want to see Bogusz get like a good shot off. I mean, that first one was pretty good, but a little closer to goal would be great because he doesn't even need a lot of space to make something happen, but just hasn't been happening today for him. Ponce receives, passes it back to Artur. Good from Ponce right there. Fair play. Andrade, the ball forward. Oh, Andrade keeps pushing up. Stuver gets it. Yeah, Houston have shifted something here. They look a lot better now. Artur with the ball, passes it out to Anali. Anali passes it back to Eric. There you go. So Hector is now kind of dropping into space a little bit. I like that. So you're dragging players out. Get him with the ball. Has it wide. And there's so much space for Hector right now. He's kind of in that middle pocket between the defense and midfield for Austin. Rogue pass right there from Houston. Ball to Austin. I mean, Rushan, I don't think really that's how it works, like scheduling wise, or like how you schedule a game. You would say, I don't think the idea is ever to like. I mean, maybe, but I think for Houston, I think they came in with a game plan to kind of be on low possession and create opportunities from the break. But that hasn't really happened. So I think Ben Olsen made an adjustment, I'd say, rather than an instruction from the beginning. But maybe, you know what? The more I think about it, maybe you're right. Maybe Ben Olsen did, tell him to kind of sit back the first 30 minutes, weather the storm, and then kind of hit on the counter. But I don't know. I still feel like Austin can generate a lot of opportunities here. Nice long ball from Austin. Number 10 receives. Oh, and Resch gets nutmegged. And Austin hit the post. And they missed the rebound shot. That was the second best one. Probably the third best option for Austin tonight. Yeah, God did save us on that chance. I mean, Resch Resh got cooked. Oh my goodness, Resh. That was pretty bad. Hey, at least Bond dove for that one. I'll give him credit for that one. He dove for the last two. So Uzuni with the dribble. Oh my goodness, so poor from Resh right there. Fiatchenko with the ball. Pass it to Ponce. Ponce out wide to Anali. Ooh, Anali, nice turn of pace. I think Anali's ready to be let loose. I think he can definitely do that. Hector pressing up high. And Bogusz gets the ball in a dangerous position. Houston pressing up high. Bogusz to Ponce, and he can't connect the pass. I believe that is a goal kick for Austin. That was the first good chance for Bogusz to make something happen. Pass goes weak. It goes wide. And 35 minutes in, Houston have only had, I think, two good shots. Well, not even good right at the keeper, but two long-term shots to show for it. Bond's been pretty active today. You know, the goal, the post, made a good save. Sviatchenko clears, but now Austin have numbers on the right side. Austin up high. Austin get a shot, save from Bond. Yeah, I will say that run from Bogusz was really, really good. It's just, my goodness, man. Can they connect? Can the chemistry be made? I don't know. Artur pushing up higher. I believe that's been apologies. To Andrade, back to Guilherme. Guilherme is getting pocketed right now by Nelson. Passes it back to Sviatchenko. Torres was then back to Vines. I completely forgot Vines was playing. That is actually is Vines. Wait, was that Vines? Yeah, that was Vines. Kind of dropped into the double pivot for a second. Guilherme receives. Why is Andrade where Guilherme should be, and why is Anali in the middle? This Houston, I don't even know what to say, guys. This Houston shape is weird. It's wacky. I have no idea what's going on. Hector passes it back to Artur, and Nelson went down. Non-contact. Referee's checking on him. Did he blow something out? I don't know what happened to Nelson. Bad news for Austin. He was their best player today. But without him, I think Houston may have a chance. So Nelson gets picked up. Hopefully he's all right. You never want to win a game like that. He's been Austin's best player. Pretty good goal. They just showed the replay. Nothing Bond. I mean, Bond. At least he can dive. Let's look at that again. Yeah, I mean, that was his great finish. I would hope Bond dives for that, like I said, but that was a great finish, to be completely fair. So is he getting. Yes. Nelson is being subbed off. Gallagher gets in for Nelson. That is horrible news for Austin. Nelson was having a great game. Yeah, Rushan, I don't think he catches that. That's a really tough one to catch. I think the catch is one of the most difficult things a goalie can do. I don't think he can catch that, but I definitely think he can. What can I say? I definitely think that he could have tried to tip it, at least try attempt. There was no attempt, so we would never know. But Bond is pretty lengthy, so I would hope that he would try. Austin up here. Austin high. Spiachenko clears it. It'll be a corner for Austin. Austin with the corner. Bond slips. Austin trying to get a shot off. And Nolly pressing up really high. Ooh. Good press there from Houston. I'd like to see that. Zuver receives weirdly, and Zuver just has to clear it. Best, I think, pressing situation for Houston so far. Artur passes it in. Nice pass to Inali, who sends it in. Ponce can't do anything with it. Ponce presses Stuver. Yeah, Ken, if that was a pressing masterclass. I think that actually might be the most good sequence from Houston this game. This has been such a boring match for the people watching. Austin have just been kind of running rampant, and Houston have been picking up the pieces, but still only 1-0. Like I said before the game, if you can get a draw out of this, that'd be amazing. Andrade with the ball. Passes it back to Eric. Austin are just moving their players really well right now. Houston cannot throw that from the back. Resch, good pass to Vines. Vines finally gets on the ball. Vines pushing up higher. Nice pass to Guillermo. Best sequence from Vines so far right there. Bogusz with the ball. Bogusz turns. Good turn from Bogusz right there. Vines with the ball again. Back to Bogusz. To Guillermo. Guillermo holding. Guillermo. Back Andrade. Andrade passes it wide to Enali. Back to Andrade. To Artur. Artur out wide to Hector. Hector with the cross. It falls for Vines. Save from Stuver, and it will be a corner for Houston. Really good build-up play there from Houston. Credit where credit's due. Bogusz moved really well in that sequence. That's what Houston need from Bogusz. Yeah, I mean, Stuver got a pretty simple save, but he should have been able to catch it, to be honest. That's the one you hope your goalkeeper catches. But corner for Houston. Let's see if they can get anything done with this one. Corner for Houston. Austin headed away out of their own box. It will be a throw-in for Austin. Hey, but best chance for Houston right there of the half. What has been a pretty boring half for Houston. Austin have been playing pretty well. And I believe we will have 4 minutes of added time this game. I mean, I mentioned it earlier as well. Houston have a lot of options on the bench, and Austin have a dangerous free kick just outside the box. That is not great. All right, so we have reached the 45th minute, 4 minutes of extra time. Yeah, that is a very, very dangerous free kick opportunity for Austin. I'm not surprised at all if they score this. Perfect position for him, for whoever takes it for Austin to shoot. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, do you see it? No, I saw it. Hey, we'll talk later. We'll talk later. Houston with 45 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. Bond is signaling to someone to hold strong. Vines kind of looks like Chad McGlynn from a distorted angle. Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if they score this. It's a great position for them. Austin about to shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call a goal right here. I think it happens. I don't like how Houston's set up, and a deflection, and it's in. So predictable. 2-0 Austin FC. They lead against Houston Dynamo. That is yucky. Well, I called it. I told you. You can't be doing that. You can't be giving up goals from that position. Of course, it was a deflected goal. That is not great. Houston are about to enter the half down 2 goals. Let's see, no offsides. I don't think so. It was a deflection. Yeah, I mean, unlucky. My goodness. There you go. 47th minute. It was stoppage time, and Houston give up a second. Goodness. And this, because I say this would be Houston's best. I think this was Houston's best little sequence. These past 5-10 minutes, but what can you do? Well, Houston have a lot of work to do if they want to get a tie, at least a tie. I don't think a win is going to happen today, but don't rule out a possibility. Houston will have to kind of play like they did these past few minutes, and not give up any silly free kicks. Nice pass to Hector. Hector with the ball. I mean, does Ben even give a halftime speech here? I mean, I'd say there. I don't think he'll say anything that'll really inspire the team. I just think he has to switch some stuff up. Got some subs in here. Vines out. He didn't do a lot. Maybe get an ollie over there. I don't know. Andrade with the ball. Because here's the thing with halftime speeches. They aren't really what I think there. It's not like the movies. Guillermo with the ball, crosses it in, and it'll be a corner for Houston. So see if something comes out here. One last corner for Houston for the half fence. Let's get in. Let's see. It'll be cleared by Austin. Inali running back like if his life depends on it to send it back to Bond. And I believe that should be the end of the half. And it is. So Houston down 2-0 in the first half. pretty weird, but not impossible to overcome. I mean, Nelson's out injured, so I guess Austin was without their best player for the half for a little bit, and they were still able to get another goal. Maybe this is where the losing streak ends for Austin, but it is not impossible. So we'll see what happens. So everybody in the chat, let me know what y'all think.
You see that? Yeah, I fumbled it back. Look.
Hey, give me 1 second.
You see what he said?
Yeah.
I said.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, that's horrible.
Oh, no.
So yeah, so if you're in the chat, let me know what y'all think of this half. What do you think Houston should do here? I'm gonna. I mean, what is there even to talk about? Let me know your thoughts on the chat. Oh my goodness, this was a horrible half for Houston. I mean, barely got anything going. Where do you go from here? Maybe, and here's the thing again: Houston offensively, they're missing someone like Linger, and it sucks that he's out injured, or not injured but suspended. Yeah, I think Ponce has been a non-factor again, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Houston need to do something. So, man. Man, I have no idea where Houston go from here. Tactically, I mean, Markanic is your best option up top. Vines, I thought he played a little better at the end of the half, but just a bunch of non-factors today for Houston. My goodness, this has been one of the most boring games for Houston. It's just been so poor. Oh man. I genuinely don't know where they go from here. I genuinely don't. I'm at a loss for words. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining us. It is halftime. Houston Dynamo FC versus Austin FC. Austin FC with the early 2-0 lead. 45 minutes left to play. Houston have made comebacks before, but this game just it started bad for Houston. They gave up that early goal. Great finish from Nelson, and they were starting to build themselves back into the game in that second half of that first half. And then a deflection goal on a stupid free kick gives the home side double the advantage. I mean, goodness, that's horrible. That was a horrible half. And it sucks because they were playing a little better recently, and then to come out and do that, yuck. So Jeff asking for predictions on halftime subs. Oh, do you get Aliu in here? Do you get Aliu in this game? I think you can put him on the left for Vines. You get a second attacking option. Oh, I'd say Vines is already attacking, but I feel like Aliu has shown that he's playing pretty well recently with his performances. Sorry, sorry guys. Reaction to the game, absolute snooze fest. But yeah, why don't you put in Aliu? Put an Aliu on that left side. Let him push a little higher. They're re-showing the goal, the first goal of the game. So Aliu at halftime would probably be the best option for Houston. It has to be. and I don't think, and maybe Antonio Carlos Ferresh, maybe put in a slightly better defender. Andrade has been kind of poor today. In Houston, their best chance to that Vines shot, to be completely fair, but Vines hit it straight out. Stuver. So yeah, if you're in the chat, let me know. What subs you think will happen this half? And they're showing that replay for the second goal. So silly. Can't be allowing that. Yeah, I think if that shot wasn't deflected, that's an easy save all day for Bond. Yeah, I mean, Austin was 0.6 XG. Houston 0. Austin had 10 shots that half. Houston only had 4. 3 of them were on target. Possession was close. Houston had more corners, but again, not winning possession, not winning anything. Was silly enough to see. Yeah, that was so silly. The game plan for Houston was so silly coming into this game. Horrible. Yeah, you can see Ben's been pretty mad. Bogusz, surprisingly, I thought played a lot better there in that second half of that first half. Thought Bogusz turned pretty well on some stuff. So yeah, Rushan, I agree. I if you're watching this game, you know how I'm feeling. If you're watching this, you know exactly how I'm feeling. It's that feeling of what are Houston doing here? Can and these past 2 games, I thought there was an identity forming, and then you drop it. You sit defensively, poor defensively, and no attacking prowess up top, and then Ponce comes in and just does nothing like he always does. Most expensive player on your team, by the way, most expensive DP in Houston Dynamo history, and he can't do anything. You have to try to sell him. It's time. I think that time's now. We need a Golazo energy drink for these types of games. An energy drink gives you the energy of watching a Golazo scored by your team. You know what? Maybe. Mm, mm, mm. Do I get an energy drink? Look, y'all let me know. If one of you gives me permission to get an energy drink, I will go and buy an energy drink here during halftime. Oh, man. Oh, man. I see people are tuning in for the half, maybe hoping to see some analysis. I don't know what to tell y'all, but aside from Ponce needs to leave, I think I am fully on that boat. We'll see. I mean, nothing really happening on the field right now. They're showing a wide angle on the LTV broadcast. Brought this up earlier today. He talked about what he would say, like what Ben would say to the team at half. I think you have to tell him to drop the bull crap defensively and go forward. I think if you're Houston, Do you switch to that back three? I think that's a conversation that can be had. I think Houston can definitely play a back three, move up a person, and really gear man opposite wings. What subs am I hoping to see? I think we can get an Aliu up in here. I think Aliu in for Vines. I didn't like Vines that half. I think you can get. My heart says give Markanich an opportunity, but man, I think those are the two subs I would make. Aliu for Vines and Markanich for Ponce. So that's bad. That and I was kind of hoping that Houston would kind of keep this game close. Maybe they can put in Antonio Carlos to be more defensively sound, but I don't think Houston can afford a defensive sub right now. They can't afford one. They need an offensive substitution. They're showing the replay for that post hit by Austin where Resch got cooked. And Houston is kind of standing around doing nothing right now, or standing around doing nothing on that play. Well, that is true. I would say Aliu's pretty good defensively, but he showed last game that he can make something happen offensively. So let's see, what are people saying? Also needs to stop messing with the lineup. Yeah, I mean, you're. I do think teams need to find their. I think teams do need to find their identities sometime or not. I think a team's identity can definitely be being flexible, but whenever you're like searching for results, the last thing you need is teams not knowing how to play with it. And I do agree with you. Dudes are never gonna gel if they aren't consistently playing together. But look at me in a straight face and tell me what Houston's best lineup is. I thought it was this one, aside from Ponce, and it looks like this. I would have preferred to see something like this for a little while. And I guess it makes sense in the midweek to make subs, but when the team consistently every week looks different, I know there's injuries. I know injuries happen, but it looks so different week after week. Like yikes! And I'll applaud Ben for kind of making some changes, and I feel like the identity's coming, but I also feel like you can't really blame him when this type of stuff happens. The players need to perform. I think Ben figured something out these past few weeks for shading the out of possession shape, but then there's no creativity offensively, so he has to make another adjustment. Yeah, I hope that that Colorado game was a one-off, Rushan. If it happens again, then I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to say. I think the second half is going to start here in a few minutes. I mean, if you have anything extra to say in the chat, I'd love to hear it. Carlos Antonio should be starting. Resch is not a starter in the last two games we've shown him. I thought last game for Resch was really good. You know, I think Resch has done pretty well in the opportunities he's been given. And Antonio Carlos has not been good at all. He has not been good at all. I'm sorry. He's slow in possession. It's difficult The passing can be fine, but he's just too slow. Resh gives you a different profile. He's tall like Carlos, but some of the passing can be right. Although today I will agree it's not been a great performance, but I don't think we can put it against him. Look, I watch every single game, right? And I'll give you your credit. If you disagree, you can disagree. But I hope Carlos can turn around, but Carlos is just not quick at all. And the stats show it. From what I've watched, the analysis shows it as well. I think it's clear that Houston liked Resh for this game, and it failed. Yeah, I don't think Resh has been great today, but I don't game that single it out. And we'll see what happens with McGlynn as well. I like how he plays. Um, we haven't seen him play for a while. He's a U.S. men's national team midfielder for a reason. Too bad he got injured, but again, it seems like Antonio Carlos is coming on, so we'll see if he does in fact do better. I wouldn't have made a defensive sub, but I mean, I do agree that it hasn't been a great game for the back line, and I guess it was between those two, Resh and Antonio for who starts. I think Sviatchenko's been deep. I don't think he really put foot wrong today. So we'll see what happens. And I do feel like those two, and I do want to talk about this. McGlynn maybe is not what was I going to say? I will say McGlynn, I do think his left foot is national team material. Now, is the rest of his game starter material? I don't know. Also, the second half has officially started. So I'm gonna wait. Let's fix this. Oh yeah, we are in the second half. Let me speed this up to where I am. And I believe we are pretty much almost there. So I'm timing this up right. Okay, I'll leave it like that. Okay, so we are about to be in the 46 minute. Okay, there we go. Timed it up right, finally. So, yeah, I mean, McGlynn is not in his whole a U.S. men's national team player yet. I would agree, but he definitely has the potential to. And I don't think Pochettino has made a mistake by including him in some of the camps. He's so young, and he's only bound to get better. So, yeah, I really like his left foot, and I think for Houston, the left foot can change a game. But same thing with Bogusz, and you're seeing Bogusz right now. He's been on and off. So let's see what Houston can do here. The opportunity that they've been given. The ball. Bogusz receives. Bogusz, nice pass to Ponce. Oh, not Ponce. I have no idea who that was. Was that Vines? I believe that was Vines. Yes, number 13. And a corner for Houston. First corner of the game. Or of the half, I'm sorry. Bro, are you hearing that banging, bro?
Yeah.
Corner for Houston. And Stuver catches it. Nothing doing there for Houston yet again. So player down for Austin. 48th minute. Sviatchenko won the ball to his credit. Eric makes Eric's things. I think Eric is pretty good defensively. He's always been for Houston. But like Antonio Carlos, the same issues. Like, can he keep up with the pace of play? So you asked, what are my thoughts on Ponce? I'll be honest. You you've kind of hit it on the head. He's not getting the ball that much. And I used to fault it on and I don't know, I'll call you como tu. I do agree with you, dude. I do feel like early on the issue with Ponce wasn't really him, but rather the delivery that was coming to him. So I will give you credit on that. But I do think he as a player has not stepped up to the level that is required from a DP. If you're the biggest DP in team history, you go get that ball. And he has done it a bit in the first half, but he just can't create anything for himself. No space. He relies on movement from the other people. And unlike Linger can create his own space. Now, whether he can take advantage of that, that's a different conversation. So if you're watching the Dash game, they have a break. I'm not really going to be covering both games, but they do have an opportunity there, Dash, to maybe tie the game. Houston might need a red card from Austin if they want to have any chance. They second half started, 5 minutes in. It's not looking great.
Well, she's waiting.
Oh,
She's waiting.
I'm scared. Austin with the ball, 51st minute. Guillermo pressing. I will say Ponce does look frustrated this season, but I think he only has himself to blame for that. Only himself. It's up to him to do something with the ball when he has it. And yeah, he's not getting a lot of touches, but even out of possession, he just looks different. I wouldn't be saying a lot if I didn't think his out of possession shape was great. Because prior to this season, I always liked his defensive work rate, but even this season, it looks weird. And now leave the ball back to Sviatchenko. Bond with a small error right there. And Ali should be on the left side. Maybe not. Because I actually don't think it matters that much because Guillermo rotates between the left and the right anyways. I don't know why that would change. I mean, what would even change here? Because, I mean, you have Vines there. If you put a Nolly there, you put in like a more defensive player as Guillermo with the ball, pass it into the box, can't do anything. So I just don't know if Nolly on the left side would change a lot. Bond with the ball, almost walks out of the box with the ball. That would have been pretty bad. Ben wears gold chain, but not Cuban link iced out chain. Rushan, I've been trying to speak your language for a bit, but I do not understand what that means. Lord. So Hector with the ball, receives, sends it out wide to Guillermo. He's now going to push up a little higher. Vines with a nice little pass to Bogusz, and Vines can't get a good pass back to Bogusz. That is, I don't really like him. I don't like how Vines has played today. No, I think he's fine as a person, I'm sure, but today's just not been his game, which is unfortunate because I think as a player he can offer a lot. Andrade passes it back to Hector, to Bogusz, who gets tripped up and fouled. So a good free kick opportunity for Houston. I think the first or second one of this game. Do they go quick? No, they do not go quick. So McGlynn is coming in. I believe that's McGlynn, right? Let's see. Yes, I believe that is McGlynn for who's subbing in? Samaseku's coming in, and McGlynn's coming in for Vines. And who else? Who else is coming out? And Artur's coming out. Okay, that makes sense. There you go. McGlynn is back, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to see him back after that injury, which I have no idea what it was. I'll be so honest with y'all. So McGlynn's coming in. Makes sense right before a free kick, but I don't know if I want him to take it because he's not fresh at all. So I think they just have him there for the threat of him. Let's see. Does Guilherme take? Yes, he does. Save from Stuver. I think that's a chance for Houston for this game. Yes, I believe I am 10 seconds behind. I am the most forward I am on Apple TV. Some of y'all might get a noti before or after. This is on Apple TV. So if y'all get something before me, y'all can say it. I'll react to things as soon as they come out. That's usually how it goes on these streams anyway. Someone will tell us what happens like 2 minutes before, or even Christian, usually the guy that hosts this type of stuff. I'll see it before he does, and I'll try to be calm. Andrade with the ball. Passes it to Bogusz. Bogusz can't get past his man. Okay, good there from Ponce. Ponce to Bogusz. Bogusz out wide to McGlynn. McGlynn lays it off to Anali. Anali with the cross to nobody. As we say in Hispanic culture, ¿pa quién? ¿Pa dónde? Yeah, much better from Houston there. Good save from Stuver on that he had a missed shot. Dessler with the throw in for Austin. Pass it to Hector. Pass it to Samaseku. Pass it to Andrade. Guilherme pressing high. Stuver with the ball again. Takes a weird touch out wide. Receives. And weird combination right there from Austin. And Nali with the ball back. Nice little flick to Nali from McGlynn. McGlynn with the ball again. I don't know about y'all, but seeing McGlynn with the ball, with that left foot, it gives me some hope. Carlos with the ball. Vyachenko with the ball. Pass it back to Antonio Carlos. has it back to Bond. Bond with the ball. Receives it kind of weird. Samaseku, nice job beating his man. And he gets twisted around. That is an easy yellow. Yeah, I mean, he just got held in the hand and twisted around. Houston building up again. Okay, Houston with opportunities. McGlynn crosses it into the box. Guillermo heads it. Oof. Push from Andrade. Is that a card or not? They didn't call a card. Yeah, and the player's fresh. So I think 2 subs here for Austin, Flodry, and I didn't catch the other person's name. Here, let me see if I can turn up the audio. So what are you referring to, Go to? Are you talking about the post-game press conference questions? Let me know if you're talking about the post-game press conference questions. Because right now it's just me and whatever y'all are saying. Oh, pre and post game. So I I'm not gonna speak too much about this. Obviously, if y'all know, I'm in media covered Houston Dynamo since 2023. I've done a lot of post game and pre game press conferences, but I think it's just Houston not really. They just want to. I don't even think it's a want. It's just not part of my. They give us a microphone for the pregame and at least for the post game press conferences. They give us a microphone, so the coach can hear us just fine. But I don't know. It might just be something with the Zoom audio that they take because I know they launch up a Zoom for the media members that are not in Houston to ask questions. So it might be that. Yeah, you know what? I'll ask them next time I see someone from the PR department. I'll ask them why they don't turn up the volume too much, because maybe it's just they want to. They want to keep the players the focus. But thanks for the question, though. I never really gave it much thought. I don't really care if people can hear my voice whenever I ask a question. I'm there to interview the players. I'm not the focus. So Austin winning 2-0 right now against Houston. Houston pressing a little better. So on the re-upload of the process, the volume is really low altogether. So whenever Bayou City send the press conferences, that is just from the club. The club gives us the files as media. So there's not really much we can do with the files after the Dynamo send it to us. Maybe some audio regulation, but what you hear is pretty much what we get. So yeah, that's not an us issue. That's just the file that they gave us, unfortunately. What I don't know. Maybe subtitles. Maybe we could do manual subtitles so y'all can at least read along, make it easier. Because I know the auto subtitles aren't really always the best. But I'll reach out about that. I'll see if it's something in the fall. Austin with the ball, 63rd minute. So bottom of the ball, receives, pass it to Eric Sviatchenko. So long pass out to Anali. Anali can't do anything with it. See, I mean, Houston possession wise, they've been it's been poor. It's been really poor these past few games. But then again, I don't care about possession if you can win. But if you can't win, then then what's the point? Okay, so Austin making some subs in the 65th minute. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think this game's pretty much wrapped up. The big question is here: can Houston get something done? Make me think that there's any hope after this game for what comes next, so they can kind of turn it around. It's just been one of those games. It's been really yucky. Make sure to stick around also for post game thoughts from all of y'all. Yeah, I mean, in this game, usually I can tell you one thing that I didn't like. It's just in general, it's just been so bad or just subpar that I don't think a single tactical fix fixes what went wrong today. It's just a general level in the squad just dipped below the standard that it should have been for Houston. So sometimes it's just simple as your players weren't up to it today. And you need to have conversations like, hey, you can't play like this. If I'm Houston, you can't play like that. And now leave the ball out wide. Nali leave the ball. Pass it to Samaseku. Then gives it to Carlos. Out to Bogusz. Oof, nice by Bogusz. Bogusz still with the ball. He's getting marked by two people. Guilherme with the cross. And Ponce gets dragged down. No call. I think it was pretty clear that Ponce was being held, at least by two players there. But I don't think there will be a call on that one. Let's check. That could have been a great chance for Houston. Let's see. Nah, not enough. Get up, Ponce. Yeah, Ponce is even trying to draw penalties right now. He can't even do that. Austin now with the ball. Good job by Andrade. Now Bogusz in transition. Now here's where the game opens up a little bit. Maybe now you can kind of make something happen. But even then, there's just Ponce is just not moving at all. I'd hope that the striker moves a little bit if you're Houston, but okay, there you go, Hector. Really weird seeing them play together, McGlynn and Hector. I felt like McGlynn was kind of brought in to replace Hector, and now they're both playing similar-ish positions. And three midfielders for Houston: Samaseku, McGlynn, and Hector Herrera are your three. Ooh, nice there from McGlynn to Samaseku. Oh, McGlynn, what are you doing there? Yeah, you can tell he's still rusty. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens here. McLean to the stadium. Sent it up to the supporters. 20 minutes left. Houston with a good chance there over the bar from Eric Sviatchenko. Maybe their best chance of the game so far, to be fair, right on the 70th minute mark. Stuver's been a brick wall today for Austin. Haven't been able to get anything past him. Let's see what happens here. Austin with the ball still. And Nolly with the ball. Austin just cycle. Man, are y'all like bored? I am so incredibly bored at this game. Chance for Austin, and it'll be a corner for Austin. What a boring half of football and first half of football. Houston have been playing such a boring brand of football this season. It is actually horrible. And last few games I didn't care because they won. And they have moments of brilliance, but what is there to talk about right now? This is horrible. And now Austin get another corner. I wouldn't be surprised if they scored here either. Yeah, this second half's been yuck. It's been horrible. I don't. Can I like? I want to turn this off. Oof! They almost scored. Well, I mean, back-to-back wins, you take those all day. I mean, I think those wins were as unimpressive as this game isn't impressive. But I will push back on this a little bit. I mean, you win 2 games in a row in this league. That's pretty good. I don't care who it is. Winning back-to-back games is not something that Houston usually do. So to do it somehow, some way, that's fine. But because something isn't impressive doesn't mean that it's bad. You know, and I thought that defensively the team looked so much better. It seemed like a step forward, and for me it was. But it feels like you're taking a step back with this. Bogusz with a cross to Ponce, and Ponce can't get it. Ponce, please leave. Please. Please, just stay in Austin, brother. They'll love you over there. We'll take Facundo Torres with you, mate. We'll take Facundo Torres. Austin, you can take Ponce, man. I mean, he beats his man there. Can't even get it on the goalie. My word. Ponce, that is horrible once again. Austin with the ball again. Passing back to the fence. Out wide. Out wide again. Andrade presses up on his man. Bogusz pressing up high again. And the merry-go-round continues. No, sorry, that was Guilherme that was pressing, not Ponce. Ponce went up there to press just now, got beat. Not surprised. This has been a generational stinker for Ponce, man. Does nothing. And then provides nothing. But I do think Marcanic is coming on, so. Oh, yeah, and Dash lost. They weren't able to take advantage of the red card for the Courage. Thank you for reminding me, Jeff. Could be just a pretty bad day all around. And why is Marcanic coming in for Hector Herrera? Why? What are we doing? Are we being for real? No way. Lord help me. Lord help me. No. What are we? What are they doing? I get the sub. I get it. But Marcanic? I mean, I guess you have McGlynn now in the midfield, but horrible. My God. Hey, you know what? I kind of agree with this comment here from Komotu. I do feel like the Dynamo brought in pretty good players, but they just haven't been utilized. It sucks because you as a fan should expect playoffs, you know? But it seems like this team might not make top 7, and hey, who knows if they even scrape by top 9. It's not particularly, it should be pretty simple for 1 out of 14 or 15 teams to be in the top 9. So, one game won't change much, but against struggling teams like this, and with injuries that they have, this is the type of game that you want to win or draw. I said it earlier. Draw would have been perfectly fine. Seems like Houston's going to leave here without a point. 76th minute. And just when you think you have it all figured out, Marcanic, a striker, subs in for Hector Herrera, a midfielder. And you couldn't have made a substitution for Buzat or anything like that. Oh, man, Ben. I mean, at least you changed something up with that switch. You're going to give him a different look. But why not Marcanic for Ponce? The guy who has, for lack of a better term, crapped this game with his presence, unfortunately. And I think that's a bit unfair to Ponce. I don't think he's crapped the field today. That might be a little harsh, but a chance for Austin, corner. I mean, here's the thing with Ponce. I appreciate what he can do defensively, but whenever you can't do anything on the offensive side of the ball, my goodness. And yeah, I am of this opinion, and I don't think this is a controversial opinion at all. If this type of team can't make the playoffs, it's the coaching staff issue. And if it's a coaching staff issue, it's probably a front office issue. And if it's a front office issue, then you get the point. Like, you change it up. Simple. I think Houston should definitely change things up if they don't make playoffs. Now, even if they make playoffs, if it's unconvincing, then, like, for example, if they finish 9th, like, great, you made playoffs. That more than half the team makes, and you barely scrape by as like one of the worst teams in that pool. But congrats. I'm not going to give you credit for finishing 9th out of 15 or 14, whatever it is. I'm not going to give you credit. Why do you deserve credit for being slightly subpar? Now, if you would have played him, fair play. Yeah, maybe Ben's misunderstanding us. Ben, when we say Ponce sub, we don't mean keep him on. We mean sub him out, please. I don't know how much longer I can take of Ponce ball. Look, all I'm saying, and I'll stay with this belief in my heart. If Linger started this game, I don't think Houston lose. I don't think so. I really don't. Austin with the ball in this 80th minute. Foul by McGlynn. Gosh, I'm sleepy. Probably after this, I'm going to get an energy drink, which you probably shouldn't do once it's past 9, but it's been that type of night. Yeah, foul by Anali. It wasn't McGlynn. Just McGlynn was in the area. Oh, man. And you still can't give Guilherme rest. And Guilherme has been giving it his all for this team, and you're not giving him the opportunity to shine. Like, what is this? So we've officially hit the 80th minute mark. Probably people at the game are like a minute ahead. So what's already happened is already happened. Samaseku with a nice job pressing right there. Props to you. Giving us some oomph to this game. Houston with the ball again. McGlynn receives. McGlynn's been all right. I think Houston have looked a little better offensively with McGlynn, but not by a significant margin. Get Aliu in here. Come on. Samaseku with the ball. Passes it back to Antonio Carlos, who has done fine this half. Whatever. A lot of these players, the second half has been whatever. At least they haven't given up a goal yet. But again, just weird half where you needed a goal and you don't really do anything. So see a few more people have joined in. Hopefully, trying to get some post game thoughts. I'll quickly go over this game, but if you've watched it like me, then there hasn't been a lot for Houston. There isn't a lot to say. And they off Aliu with a nice pass to Guilherme. If Aliu does well, Guilherme just got bodied. So it'll be a free kick for Houston, maybe an opportunity to do something here. But again, I'm doubting it. As time goes on, I don't see much hope for Houston. Yeah, I mean Guilherme got bodied there. Again, another foul bait. I'm fine with that. The Brazilian flair at it again. Now it is McGlynn on the ball. McGlynn, as some people say it. So 2-man wall for Austin. Probably not trying to do the same thing the Dynamo did and deflect a goal in. Goodness. So McGlynn with the ball. He's going to cross it in. It seemed like there was going to be an opening. Nothing came of it. Eric with the cross. Nothing happened. And free kick for Austin. My goodness. What a whack game. Story of the night for Houston. Just getting some opportunities, if any, and then not doing anything with them. And Austin, to their credit, they've been pretty good today. To their credit, I'll give them a lot of credit. Seven minutes left in regulation. Torres, I believe, came off. Good shift from him from Austin's perspective. Number 29 also coming off. Birro. Yeah, Austin's just been more than happy to ride out this wave. Houston have not been doing anything. Really weird from Eric to let that ball impact the pond. McGlynn with the ball, dropped into the double pivot. A lot of space opened up this game. Makes sense. Bogusz with a nice little dribble. Guilherme with the ball. Guilherme's pass is a little off. And now Bond does pick it up. Yeah, Bond. Bogusz with the ball inside the box, passes to Guilherme. Eric with the ball, passes it wide. Passes has been so off. McGlynn receives, passes it back to Antonio Carlos. Pass to McGlynn in open space, and Houston can't do anything with it yet again. Yes, it's better from Houston. Too late, and it is what it is. Oh my goodness. I think 4 more minutes left of regulation. Austin FC winning 2-0. Passing it out. Stuver passes it out to nobody. Bond picks up the ball. Out to Sviatchenko. Markanic. I forgot he was in this game. Nice pass to Guilherme. Guilherme shoots, and it is saved by Stuver. Man, brick wall today. Yes, it's not as embarrassing as Colorado, as the game against Colorado, but is that really the standard Houston want to set? Oh, just being a little better than and complete dog water. Bogusz with a shot just off. That could have gone in, man. That one actually was a really good shot from Bogusz. Of course, too little, too late for your Dynamo. 2-0 Boston with around 3 minutes left. 3 more minutes before regulation ends. This half has gone by really quickly. I don't expect much to happen. Nice little clearance by Aliu. Has both Ali gets the ball again. Now he gets up. Guilherme with the ball. Guilherme dancing around, finds open space with Antonio Carlos. Pass to Samaseku. Samaseku slips and can't get the shot off. Guilherme with the ball. Guilherme's been holding up the ball a lot. There's just no movement from Houston. McGlynn passes it to Sviatchenko, passes it to Bogusz. Bogusz crosses it in to Aliu. One of the best chances of the night for Houston. Houston receive again. Markanic with the ball. And now leave the ball out wide. Last manipulation here. Going with the cross. Back in rotation. Yeah, Ben's pissed. You can see in the bottom of your screen. And Nali gets shielded and oof, collides with the outer bounds of the field. He's fine. 4 minutes of added time for Houston. Don't think that'll be enough. I mean, time wasting sucks, but I expect Houston to do it when they're up. Bogusz receives. Can he keep it in? Oh, he keeps it in, but just twisted it out wide. Okay. 3 minutes left. Miglin with the ball again. Pass it out to Samaseko. Miglin came in. Fine. Game opened up a lot when he pulled in, but I'm pretty sure that's just what it is. Whenever team's winning, they usually drop off the tempo. Yeah, I mean, hey Eric, if you haven't subbed already, make sure to sub. We do these live streams every away day. So we all either painfully watch the Dynamo or we enjoy a 1-0 win and enjoy it in quotations. So, I mean, honestly, watching these games like this is the only way I can stay mentally stable with this team. It's just, it's rough. So 2 minutes left of extra time before this game can end. I'm okay. Just hoping it does, so we can just kind of talk about it, and then I can help. It's been that type of day. I appreciate the subs, guys. We always appreciate the subs. Yeah, we are gonna try to keep doing these away game little streams. They're fun. Next time, we're definitely gonna have a few guests. So, usually it's just not gonna be me. It's just today. It's funny because Houston played Austin, and Austin's really close by, so a lot of people decided to go to that game. So, okay, Houston with one more push for what it's worth. Samaseko with the ball, passes it back to McGlynn. McGlynn out to Bogusz. Bogusz can't control it. It's been a rough one for Bogusz today. He's had some good moments, but, I mean, nobody else has. This game's about to end here in just a second. 30 more seconds until we can talk about this. And I believe it is full time at the stadium. Just got a notification. Watch out how these last minutes play out. Austin had one more chance in the half. And Houston have lost their first game in like a week, or in 2 weeks. So what a Where do we begin? Everybody, if you watch the game, drop your post-game reactions in the chat. I want everyone. I see 56 people here. I want all 56 people to let me know your thoughts on that game. I'll wait for a second. I'll just kind of let it simmer. Houston Dynamo 2-0 against local rivals Austin FC. It was a bit worrying first half. Second half picked up a little bit, but Houston weren't able to get anything going. So everybody, let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. I see people are already trying to trickle in. If you watch this game, please let me know what y'all thought. I'll give it a few more minutes for everybody to come in and kind of air it out. Come on, everybody, just tell me what went wrong. That was, I do agree with you, Eric. That was a soccer game. Oh, no, not sorry. I saw a tweet that said that's a soccer game. I will agree that that was embarrassing. That was, if you're Houston, that's embarrassing. I mean, Ben's reaching out to the ref, trying to talk to the ref, but I mean, what are you even supposed to say to the ref? You were outplayed. You completely outplayed. And Ben got a yellow apparently. For what? Your team played bad. I would get a yellow if the referee did poorly, but I did well today, the referee. I can't really blame him at all for his performance. I thought he did fine. Yeah, Ben, for the second time since Colorado, I think Colorado counts one. This counts as the second time. He's just been completely outmatched coaching-wise. And it's not even that he was outcoached. I can expect that from maybe a better team, but you got outcoached by Austin FC. So, yeah, there's not much to say about that. Houston didn't look comfortable at all from start to finish. Nelson, Austin's best player, was injured. You still weren't able to capitalize. I'm actually speechless. No, I don't agree with worst GM we've had. I think Matt Jordan is actually no. Was that Matt? I think Matt Jordan was the worst GM that Houston have ever had by a pretty big margin. Jordan was absolutely horrendous. I feel like with this team, I think this team should be performing better than the results are showing right now. So yeah, I don't know why with three. I gotta reach out and find out. But I don't know. I don't think the referee was bad today at all. So the final score 2-0 Houston Dynamo. Austin lost. It would have been great if Houston won that game. Austin wins. Stuver with a great performance, clean sheet. Man. So I guess we can talk about that first half here for a second. I mean, Houston gave up that first goal. A great goal by Nelson, to be completely honest. Nice shot, got past him, didn't even make an effort, hits the post, rolls back in. It is what it is. I can live with those goals. The second goal was a deflection. Again, I can't blame blame Bond for that one. I don't know if I said Holmes. Whenever I was talking about Bond earlier, but Bond on that deflection, I don't know what to tell you. Like that's not his fault. And maybe for the first one, I would have wanted Bond to dive, but again, from him, I can't really expect too much from him. From those two goals, it wasn't the other one really saves. The second one was just straight up impossible. And Houston were just in possession shape the entire time. Nothing in particular stood out defensively. I thought they were fine. I mean, they only gave up one open play goal, and that open play goal was a quality finish. But in possession with the ball, Houston just lacked clinicality, creativity. Guilherme was the guy with the creative engine today, as always, but he wasn't able to get on the score sheet. Bogusz was had great moments and then some really bad moments. Levin came in. I thought he did fine. Artur and Achacha were non-factors in this game. Resh, I think, at his worst appears for Houston, but then again, I am not. I lost my train of thought, but and I'm not pleased by this game. If you're Houston, you definitely can't be pleased. But I don't know. I feel like Resh. Oh yeah, Resh had his worst game as a Dynamo. Antonio did decent. Oh, and I appreciate the support on holding down this whole game. Usually, I like to do this because I usually talk with other people. Unfortunately, everybody was either at the game or at the dash game, so I guess it was me holding it down this time. But goodness, that was a bore. I don't know about y'all. I was having trouble staying awake. So yeah, McGlynn came in and did fine. And Ali, he made some good runs, but he didn't really change the game. Nobody changed the game today. I thought Sviatchenko had some good moments defensively. I will give him that. I thought Sviatchenko, if I had to pick a player of the game, which I wouldn't because even he didn't play amazing, I'd give him the player of the game. Hector, I thought he did much better in the second half of the first half. So, man. And Ponce, I think, is your dud of the game yet again. Ponce, I will saying Ponce. If you do not step up, man, like you gotta go. And I mean that with the most sincere heart, and I hope he figures it out. But it's just you're the most expensive DP in Houston Dynamo history, Ponce. You are. He is. You expect more than what he's given this team. And the fact that he's gotten benched for Houston's former DP turned TAM player, I believe, Linger. And the only reason I think Ponce is starting is because Linger was suspended. I think that tells you everything you need to know about the situation. So that was yucky. And I do agree. Eric was solid in Eric the player, Eric Sviatchenko was solid in defense. And yeah, I mean he's an old guy, but he's still kicking about. They're showing the replays, and Ponce had one chance where he didn't even hit the target. And it was him, a defender right behind him, and the goalie a little bit to the right. And it's just that's really annoying. Guillerme had a good shot saved by Stuver. That might have actually been Houston's best chance in terms of XG. I would have to check. They're actually about to pull up the XG stats. It was actually closer than you would expect. Austin with 1.14 XG to Houston's 0.82. But I've said it before and I've said it now. It doesn't matter what XG you generate if you can't finish. Usually a higher XG means that is, oh, am I lagging really bad? Oof. Well, I hope it gets fixed. But I don't know. I think Houston have a lot of soul searching to do. Possession was Houston finished with more possession, I think, for the first time all season. Shots on target, same. So X was close, but if you're not converting 0.82 XG to one goal, maybe it's more on the players, you know? Oh yeah, that's my roommate, man. Respect the roommate. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I really have to say about this game. I mean, I guess we can go into the subs a little. Let's go into the subs. I see more people are trickling. Let's give y'all a little more. Let's go on Fought Mob. Yeah. Austin FC. I mean, Houston, second half, they pretty much dominated the attack momentum. And okay, let's look at the subs here. So Samaseko, I thought, came in and did fine. McGlynn created some chances. Aliu did whatever. Carlos was fine. Holmes was good. Oh, actually, Holmes didn't come in. I'm sorry. I meant to say McGlynn was good. I thought out of all the subs, he was the best one. Just like I said, he can create something. He can at least give you the danger of chance creation. But I mean, even in Fought Mob, Houston generated 0.66% XG. They had more accurate passes. They committed more fouls. They had more corners. It's just, goodness gracious. Can you not convert that into actual goals? I mean, 5 shots on target for Houston. Yeah, 5 shots on target, 5 shots off target. Houston only had 5 shots inside the box. Austin had 8. I mean, and in open play, Houston had 0.44 actually. Austin had 0.51. Yeah, McGlynn did make one pass into the stands, but I mean, if you're micro-managing and micro-analyzing one pass out of a game where he did something that was different, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I think for all McGlynn's faults, that left foot is a weapon, and teams have to respect it. And you can instantly see how putting him on changed the attack momentum of the game a little bit. But does it matter? No, because you lost. So Brad Smith usually could score. Who knows now? We are guessing. Yeah, Brad Smith was a guy you could count on for a few goals. So thank you, Carlos, for saying this. And I think I'm going to go on a tangent here. Why, for God's loving grace, why do you sub in Marcani for Herrera and not Ponce? I'm fine with subbing Hector. I was fine with it. I get it. Okay, you can sub him out. I don't care. You sub Hector out for Marcanic, and you leave Ponce on the field. A man who you said out of your 3 attacking options was not your best finisher. So you sub in your best finisher. You sub in your best finisher for a midfielder, and you leave the striker that you said was not your best finisher as a DP. You don't sub him off. Ben, you said it yourself. You have dug your own grave. Ben Olsen. And I'll be honest. I said this in another podcast. I said it. Ponce has been given way more leeway than Sebastian Ferreira ever did. Hear that again. Ponce, a man you paid almost double than you did for Sebastian Ferreira, that Houston paid for Sebastian Ferreira, has been given way more leeway than Sebastian Ferreira ever did. And I remember Ferreira in that 2024 season off the bench, he gave you more than Ponce has given you this entire season. That is embarrassing from the front office, from the coaching staff, from the people making these decisions. That is embarrassing. And if Houston want to figure out what happened wrong here, they need to make a change. And if that change means, even if Linger is not available, you put in Marcanic for Ponce. I'm not even asking Marcanic to start. Sub in Marcanic for Ponce. Don't leave Ponce out on the field. He's struggling. Don't leave him out there. That might have been one of the more brain dead acquisitions one of the most brain dead decisions I've seen this season for Ben Olsen. One of the most. Because you can sub in Buzat for Hector. I'm fine with the first half of it, taking out Hector, but leaving it unresolved. You know what? I guess you can argue that you want another striker up there when you're chasing 2 goals. But Ponce hasn't scored all season in MLS. He just hasn't. According to this season, he is not the goal scorer. That's Guilherme. That's even Bogusz should score before Ponce. Marcanic did better in Open Cup than Ponce did. The goal scorers are not Ponce. So when you're losing by 2 goals, you better bring in a goal scorer. And I haven't really talked about Austin that much because, aside from the occasional banter, because I think they've had a pretty rough season, but they outplayed Houston here 100%. Fair play to Austin FC. They had a pretty good game, and they completely outcoached Ben Olsen. That was embarrassing. And if we're talking about Ben Olsen, I don't think he's particularly a horrible coach, but he is a bit of what. Now, let me word this carefully. Let me find the word that I'm looking for, because there's a word for it. He is a pragmatic coach. They are very pragmatic. And what I mean by that is that um, whenever he kind of he decides on something, he kind of sticks with it and then has difficulty changing out of it. That's been Ben Olsen for a while. And this season, it feels like it's the first time that he's switched that up. But even then, that's not working. So another comment from Eric. I actually don't. I don't. My opinions on those trades, the trades in them aren't bad. The trades aren't bad. You get value you get value for value. You trade players and you bring players in. It isn't the trading the players that's the issue. It's the replacing them. And they just didn't do a good job replacing those players last season. But here's the issue: this season is not on Pat, because guess what? He brought in Guillermo, who's been your best player. You brought in Bogusz, someone who was an established player in this league. Markanic played good in U.S. Open Cup. Halter looked great before his injury. Buzat looked like a pretty good signing. Samaseku's come in and done some good work. Sending Dorsey to Orlando, now that Rushan mentions it, that might be a loss. But you have Aliu. Aliu did great in the midweek. Vines was fine, and that has been actually no. Vines was not great. I get putting in Vines. He's gonna play that well, but you have Andrade. Andrade was a great signing. I'll stand by that. He was, I think, one of Pat's best signings recently. So yeah, Eric, I do agree with you with this. Benelson hasn't made anything of it, but you also did just say that Onstead was all about the money, which I think he showed this. He showed this season that is not really the case. I think it's just you sell players and then you fail at replacing them. I don't think it's about money. It's about talent identification. So I mean, it's just one game. I'm kind of reacting like this. It's just because I'm still dumbfounded by the Ponce decision. I just am. The season's still very long. Things can change really, really quickly. So I'm not really worried about the table right now. I'm worried about the process. And the process is not great. You know what? I like Corey Baird. And I'm glad you brought him up. I like Corey Baird. I think Corey Baird would have been fine in the system. Yeah. He was Ben Olsen's guy. But he wanted to get paid more. And I just don't think he was that valuable. He was valuable, but I don't think what he wanted justified what he gave. But I don't know. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad, guys. I'm gonna. What else? What else could we talk about here? Yeah, we already talked about Bond. We touched on Aliu. I could Corey Baird and even Ramirez much cheaper than Baird. I mean, if I'm Houston, I sell Ponce. Maybe you leave Linger there. You can maybe buy another defensive piece. Maybe I don't know what Halter's availability is. Maybe if Halter's actually out for a while, maybe you do have to buy someone to replace him. But I mean, where do you go from here? Look, I think the team's built, and I don't think the team was built badly. I don't think the team was built that badly. Also, Eric Baird was pretty good in 2023. I think he was one of the team's best players, but he's not a great player. He would have been fine here, but again, just fine. I don't think that's really the standard that Houston should be settling on. They should be settling on excellence, and fans deserve excellence. So whenever excellence doesn't show up, you have to call it out. But it's not even that. Like, I mean, Houston are still sitting ninth, if that matters any to you, still in a playoff spot. But I mean, they're 2 points off of 7, 4 points off of 6. I mean, it's not like this team is all of a sudden out of it. There's so much time left, and they're still in a playoff spot. Like if the season ended today, they're in the playoffs. But it's been that type of season where I feel like they can deliver some good performances and then deliver something like this. Has me wondering why they're still giving Ponce a chance. So I guess I'll wrap it up with this, and if y'all respond, that's great. If not, that's fine. But Houston, this season has been frustrating, but it's not because they've just been generationally bad, but it's because they're so close. They're like this close. When Linger started and that Open Cup game, I felt, and maybe a lot of y'all feel like there was a that maybe they can turn the ship around, and they still probably could. Season's still very young. It'll Stuff will happen, but there's this close, and I'll give credit to Pet. I think he did good things in this offseason that warranted, like, you know what, maybe you aren't in this just for the money. Maybe you do want to build a caliber team. But the team's so close. They have these players that they're so close to getting it done. And I feel like the system changes every 3 weeks. And I feel like today they didn't play up to the standard that they expected. So in a way, it does feel like you're back to square one, and this team's close. And I guess that if there's anything y'all can take away from this, I do still feel that way because Linger wasn't available today. And McGlynn is going to come back, and he's already back. So if McGlynn starts next game, Linger starts in front of Ponce, I mean, this counterattacking style can work. We saw it the 2 games before this one. But you can't have games like this and games like Colorado. You can't. Games where you really just play down to the level of your opponent. Not to say that Colorado is a bad team. Colorado is a pretty good team, but you can't play down to a level that nobody can support. You have to at least show that you gave it your all. I feel like the teams today didn't even show that they gave it their all. Houston, in a rivalry game where the fans try to turn up and give you the energy. I feel like you were already planning on playing from behind in this game. So yeah, that is pretty unfortunate for Houston. I do agree Ponce needs to prove he belongs in the starting lineup, whether that be in training, maybe US Open Cup. Well, I guess I'll leave it at that, guys. Make sure to subscribe to Bayou City Soccer on YouTube. Make sure to follow on Twitter. Thank you, everybody, for hopping onto the stream. I really appreciate it. It was a fun time. If anybody else wants to say something extra, I can go ahead and say it right now. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here in just a second. Thank you so much for tagging along the stream. Thank you for making this game at least semi-watchable, even though I was falling asleep halfway. I believe that's it. Alrighty. Hey, Forever Orange, for all you Dynamo fans, Forever Orange. We'll see where the team rebounds from here. We'll have a lot of content coming out this week and in the following weeks. I just saw something. So Ponce buy a house. Yeah, Houston can definitely buy a pretty good-looking house with the Ponce money. Hey, food for thought. So I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I believe Dynamo does play tomorrow. If they don't, I will write an article about that, and I will be back on the live streams as always. We weren't able to do one for one of the games last week because I had some finals prep to study for, but luckily I was able to clutch up on that. So streams will be back to completely normal. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure next time we'll have some co-hosts. So with all that said, H is up, everybody. Hold it down, H-Town, and I'll see y'all very soon. Goodbye.